everything Nintendo right now is just kind of going crazy. We have amazing news, good news, and a lot of bad news. So this is a video full of a ton of different specific topics regarding the future of the Switch 2 and the future first-party Nintendo games. Those games being new Zelda games, 3D Mario games, whatever the heck that they're gonna release during the Switch 2 lifespan. So please, let me know your thoughts after watching this video, because I feel like you guys will have some very unique opinions on this one. So of course, you have probably all heard by now, Nintendo Switch 2 just had a price increase. That's obviously not good news for the consumers because everything is getting more and more expensive. The Switch 2 already was expensive. Boom, now it's more expensive. I'm assuming a lot of the other things will probably continue to get more expensive as well, like Joy-Cons and the controllers are already insanely overpriced in my opinion. I just don't even want to know what they're going to price the Switch 3 at, because we all know they're probably going to release a Switch 3. However, we actually do have stuff to talk about in this video, basically saying that they are planning on keeping the Switch 2 around for a while. So first of all, let's start here. The Nintendo president did apparently apologize for the Switch 2 price increase, and they promised to keep a robust software lineup to make up for it, which that is good news. That in itself is good news. So obviously price increase is never good, but everything is just getting so expensive. So it's almost one of those things where it's like, yeah, we kind of all saw this coming. A lot of people have been telling us to be buying a Switch 2 before this price increase does happen, and I believe it'll take place in September if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they raised it already, but they just announced that they will be raising it. But what exactly does this mean? This essentially does mean that they are planning on releasing good games, big, good games. That next Nintendo General Direct should be big. I am kind of expecting it because the fans have been let down time and time again. I feel like people are really upset about the Star Fox game because it's like a remake of a remake of a remake, you know what I'm saying? And so fans are like, yo, where are these new games at? These new IPs? Or like, new 3D Mario is the big one that everybody talks about all the time. For good reason, because it's 3D Mario. But what exactly could this mean for that robust software lineup? Like I just said, I'm hoping that means that they will be announcing some big games in the near future. Now, I'm not sure if they'd have all these huge games planned already. Like maybe they are just like, you know what? Okay, now since we have to raise the price of the console, let's come up with some crazy games so it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, $50 more, whatever the price increase is, it's unfortunate, but if the games are worth it, it's gonna be okay, and I feel like a lot of people will still be buying the console. Even though, I'm still a big fan of things getting cheaper, of course, as we all are, but if this is gonna be the best generation of Nintendo games ever, then that would definitely make up for it. We recently did have the numbers released for the Switch 2 sales. I believe it was like under 20 million. I have it on the screen right here, but it was pretty good. And the Nintendo Switch has sold 155 million units. Obviously, the original Switch is a lot cheaper than the Switch 2. Will the Switch 2 reach this number? Because this number is huge. This is an insane number, but 20 million honestly is pretty good, especially for the amount of Switch 2 exclusive games that we have. Like, we don't have that many Switch 2 exclusive first-party games as of yet. So it is pretty impressive that they already have 20 million units sold. So the future is looking pretty good for the Switch 2, and if anything, it will give them the motivation to make bigger and better games. Like hopefully less lazy games. Not saying that they have been making lazy games, but we have been getting a lot of ports, remasters, remakes, sequels, I guess. I think the fans really want new things, such as that Star Fox game. We do have a leak of another new Star Fox game being announced and released next year, which should show some more creativity, you know what I mean? Same with the big 3D Mario game. That game will show huge and massive amounts of creativity. And like I've been mentioning recently, we don't have a solid layout of the games coming out this year for the Switch 2. Everything that we know of has an announcement that hasn't been released yet or has already released, if that makes sense. Like we don't have Zelda announced, we don't have the new 3D Mario game announced, we don't have an F-Zero game announced, whatever it may be. So with that being said, all things are lining up for that Nintendo Direct to happen in June with some big announcements, some future release dates, or some to be announced release dates. Probably, 3D Mario would most likely be a to be announced type of date. And the reason for the price increase was just because of market condition. They said, "We sincerely apologize for the impact these price revisions may have on our customers and other stakeholders, and we deeply appreciate your understanding." And apparently Nintendo research and development expenses increased 23 from the last fiscal year, suggesting that new hardware could be in the works. Now, new hardware I feel like could encompass a lot. Obviously, like accessories for the Switch 2. This could also mean new versions of the Switch 2, kind of like the removable battery in Europe. I would absolutely love if they were to give us a removable battery in the States because the Switch 2 battery life really is not that great. Like, it doesn't last all that long. Honestly, if they had a removable battery, first of all, they would make a lot of money selling these batteries, but also it would make the consumers happy and us happy being able to actually just replace our battery if we need to. Obviously, you could just plug it in, but sometimes, you know, if you're on a plane or like on a train, you can't plug it in sometimes, and you want to keep playing, pop in a new battery. I don't know if new hardware could also entail special edition consoles. I feel like it could kind of fit in that little gray area with the new hardware because we do need some special edition consoles, and they definitely have to pay money for designing that, you know, artists and all this and that, materials. So I also feel like maybe they could be working on a Switch 2 Lite, which I don't really know exactly how it would work. I still am one of those people that thinks that the Switch Lite is a great console, but why is it called a Switch? You cannot switch it from handheld to dockable mode. It's literally just a handheld. I feel like it should have a different name, and obviously still with the Switch 2 you can switch it from the dock mode to handheld mode, or like place the Switch on your table holding the Joy-Cons in your hand, but the Switch Lite can't do any of that, so I swear it needs a new name. But it kind of makes sense, like they kind of have to call it the Switch Lite or else people are not going to understand what it is. The president of Nintendo apparently also wants to make the Switch 2 a long lifespan. Like, they want the Switch 2 to last a long time. That's also good news, because if we're going to be spending, you know, $500 literally just for a Switch, I would hope to get my money out of it, low key, which I feel like I have got my money's worth out of my Switch 2 so far. It is a great upgrade. It's way better than the Switch 1. It definitely feels more like a Switch Pro because I feel like we just don't have enough on it yet to really justify the price for a lot of people. I could see the Switch 2 being way more worth it for a lot of people because there will be more games. We'll eventually have exclusive Pokemon games. 3D Mario will come out hopefully soon. Super Smash Bros. We just covered a rumor about some type of Super Smash Bros. Game in the works, whether or not it's a port, a remake, remaster, or a brand new Smash Bros. We're not really sure yet, but apparently there's something in the works. And just other huge Nintendo IPs, and definitely new IP as well. They have got to release some brand new titles. So I think overall, the price hike is unfortunate. It does stink, but at the very least, they announced the price hike early. So if you were thinking about getting a Switch 2 now is the time, because this won't be taking effect until I believe September 1st of this year. So you can still buy a Switch 2 at the current price. I went to Target today and they had a full stock of them. So you shouldn't really have an issue finding a Switch 2. But I still do think to take advantage of that, they're gonna need to announce some of these big future games so people can start buying these Switch 2 consoles before the price is high. Unless Nintendo are thinking, what if we wait until the price hike and then we'll announce the big games? Because obviously once that price hike takes place, there's no going down, at least for a long time. So imagine, you know, the price hike starts September 1st and then we don't get a Nintendo Direct until, I don't know, September or October. Then that's when they're going to announce these big huge games, and it's like, oh great, now I have to spend this extra amount of money to buy the console because I want to play this game. Let's hope that's not the case. I'm still really thinking we're going to get a new Nintendo Direct this summer, like June-ish or July. I feel like that's got to be just the most obvious choice almost. We'll have to see on that. I want to know your thoughts. Guys, let me know your thoughts about this because I know you guys will have some unique ideas and opinions based on all the news in today's video, because like I said, a lot of good news and some bad news mixed in there. Make sure to subscribe to help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers. Hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.